second in Johann Hari's Lost Connections, and out of his seven disconnections, is disconnection from people. So this is an easy one. So back in the day, think of the way that we're built. Think of the way, if you can think of evolution. So evolution is basically an adaptation to the world around you. So how can I survive? How can my DNA pass forward through the ages? And it's because you're adapting to the surroundings around you. So, but evolution can't be fast-tracked as quickly as we're trying to fast-track it. So think of the agricultural revolution, and think of the fact that was only agricultural revolution was 12,000 years ago, I believe. Interesting to see if interesting. I would love to have a fact checker on this podcast, because so much of the shit that I say definitely is bullshit. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to Google. I'm actually pretty certain about this. When was the agricultural revolution? Agricultural revolution. That didn't help me. It says that it was in the 18th and 19th centuries in Europe. Well, fuck me. Okay, here we go. This one backs me up. Definition of the first agricultural revolution. The first agricultural revolution, also known as the Neolithic Revolution, is the transformation of human societies from hunting and gathering to farming. Here we go. This transition occurred worldwide between 10,000 BC, that's right, 12,000 years ago, thank you very much, and 2000 BC, with the earliest known developments taking place in the Middle East. Thank you very much. So, what I'm talking about here, though, is, guys, if you think of us 12,000 years ago, that's not very long ago. That's only, let's say, 100 generations. Far out. 50 generations? Let's have a look at that too. 50 times 25. Yeah, 50 generations. 50 generations ago. So obviously it wasn't yesterday, but obviously also we've been the same anatomically correct human being for hundreds of thousands of years. And before that, millions of years in our evolutionary path from, Homo erectus to where we are now. So we don't really have that much time to evolve, but what we've been forced to do is we've been forced to evolve and put ourselves into this new system where we sit in public transport for very long periods of time, for a couple of hours every day, or transport, that is car or public transport, a couple of hours every day. We go and we sit in an office cubicle, most of us, a lot of us, work sedentary, solitary jobs. And then we come home and we live in one-bedroom apartments or, two-bedroom apartments, or we live with a family, and that's cool. It's not all negative, but think of that in comparison to roaming around the wilderness, hunting, and picking up eating crickets and berries and trying to forage and whatever it is, but the whole time surrounded by your tribe, your friends, your family, so on and so forth. Another book that accompanies Lost Connections really well is a book called Tribe. Just because I mentioned it, I thought I'd make note of that book for another recommendation that I always talk about this on this podcast. But so we really are tribal. The reason that we feel really, really good and serotonin is released when we're around people is because we're built that way. We've been that way forever. That's what makes us happy, connection with human beings. And, we've lost a little bit of that along the way. So this is why I think that I've mentioned this so many times, again, on this show. Like, one of the things that I think of that is the most important this day and age is the third place. So you have your home, and you have your work, and then you have your third place. So your community. Hopefully your community can be also at your work, and you can have a really vibing, friendship and community based there as well, which is really beneficial. But not everybody does. So making sure you have that community, I really think that's key. I'm not going to harp on about the concept of a third place, but what I'm going to talk about also is we all live very, very busy lives, So I live in the city. Most of my friends work, I would say, on an average of 45 to 50 hours a week. So that's 10 hours a day. You take in public transport, so on and so forth. You've really got fuck all time to spend with the people that you love, the people that are, your buddies, your friends, the people that are going to lighten your mood just by getting together and talking some shit, going for a walk, having a beer, whatever that is. You want to be around those people, and I'm absolutely so badly guilty of this, is not seeing my friends enough. And also, I have a bit of, I have some personal issues, especially the last few months of getting a little bit of anxiety in the lead up to going to events. And not actually being able to push myself through the door to go and see my friends that I so badly do want to go and see, because I know they'll make me feel better. But that's a whole nother topic in itself. But so with this busy day and age that we live in, and these lives that, they're surrounded by, meetings and work and priorities and transport and so on and so forth, you have to find time for your friends. So it's just like when they talk about finding time to go to the gym, you have to schedule that shit in. And if you don't have the time in your schedule, then make the time. So here's another thing I need to Google. So I believe it's called Pareto's Law. So let me just have a look at this, because again, I wish I had a fact checker. I wish I had Jamie like Joe Rogan does. But Pareto's Law, Pareto's principle, oh, damn it, that's the 80-20 principle. Fuck. Okay, so what I'm going to talk about is basically it's not Pareto's Law. Damn it. There's a law that dictates, obviously, that we live within our means. So that is talking financially in a lot of certain cases. So I've lost all my credibility now. I'm actually stuttering and if you can't see me on the video, I'm actually bright red in the face right now. No, but in all seriousness, there's a principle of living within your means. And living within your means goes for money. So if we have $100,000 coming into our bank account every week, we'll live within our means, and we'll most likely spend, the majority of that $100,000. If we have a lot less money coming in, we'll live within those means. And it basically, it goes on the... Put it this way. I'm going to stop going around the circles, and I'm just going to try and make my point. It's very easy to lose track of time and to be busy and feel busy and never be able to schedule that time in to see your friends and your family and your loved ones or whatever. But you've got to schedule it in. So if you say to yourself, right, I know that every week I need to have lunch with one of my buddies from, Monday to Friday, then I know that I've got to have lunch with one of my buddies from Monday to Friday. If you're somebody that works really long hours, really, really hard, really pushes himself to the brink, then, make sure that you're reconnecting with your oldest and best and closest friends. Everyone's busy, but try and get every 8 weeks that you go and see your best friend. If they're, an hour away, 2 hours away, whatever it is, go and see them. Spend time with them. And the key is to just make the time, because the rest of your life is not going to fall down around you. So if, for example, you block out, let's say you schedule your weeks in and you're very good with scheduling, and you block out that on Wednesday of every week you're going to have lunch with somebody that you love. Then, you've lost an hour for that week, and you're going to feel busy and you're going to feel rushed, but you're actually not going to, because you're going to build the rest of your week around the fact that that's a priority. That's what you need to do. It's just like gym. People build in gym. Okay, I don't have time to go to the gym. No, I'm going to make time. I'm going to build it into my schedule. I'm going to make sure that, that 2 hours of, Monday, Wednesday, and a Friday is set and allocated to me going and getting my endorphins firing and going out and making myself feel better. And it needs to be the same with people. So I really think that can be changed. We can really live a more connected life, and spend time with the people that we love around us. We got to really work for it. Another interesting thing is, so WeWork, the co-working company, they, I believe, started a company called We Live, and not too much has been released in the way of details, but I believe it to be shared living communities. So what that would look like is, I think, like a dormitory style kind of, not dorm as in hostel dorm, but like a college dormitory style scenario where you have your own room and you have a bathroom and a little kitchenette and so forth, but then you have a communal kitchen, communal lounge, community events, so on and so forth. And if it's anything like what they do with co-working spaces for business, then it's going to be a revolution that will truly, truly, truly change the world. And I can't fucking wait to see. I really can't wait to see. Because imagine coming home, imagine you go to work and you work okay, cool. So you leave the house at 7 a.m. and you go on transport for an hour and a half, and then you get in by 8:30, you work till 5:30, and you get home by 7 p.m. This is a pretty standard scenario. So, and then you go back to your 1-bedroom apartment or 2-bedroom apartment, and you cook dinner and you go to bed. Imagine coming home and walking out into a kitchen filled with like 10 people that you know and love and you trust. They're your community, your tribe, your buddies, your people that you can rely on. And then, having social events that are scheduled into these living environments. I believe it's the future. I really do. And I've often thought about this, why is it that at the moment, like, if you were to say, oh yeah, cool, I live in a commune, or I live in a shared living environment with my brother and his family, my best friend and his family, and we all have a farm. We have 3 houses on the farm. We have like communal. That's kind of like when people think of that right now, they think of it as, oh, these guys are hippies. These guys are weirdos. And it shouldn't be the way. That's how we're supposed to be. And I believe that's where we will go in the future. Or I don't believe it's where we will go, but I'm very excited to see what happens with We Live, because I feel like that's what they're going to be producing with We Live. And if that's the case, then WeWork have the potential to truly, truly change the world and the way that we live our lives. And that is absolutely wild.